Welcome to Taste Reviews Drink Edition. I'm your host, Derek Silver, and we back for another tasting, another review. And of course, I got a new one today. And this one is Edmond's Honor Straight Bourbon Whiskey. It's finished in cognac cask with pure vanilla essence. Now, this one I went out my way to get. I looked it up on their website to see if it was in my area. I was lucky enough to find it. So I grabbed the bottle today. I was on the website all day yesterday, just checking out the story, and it has a cool story. So make sure you check out the website, which will be in the description box down below. But I'm going to read a little bit from the website. Hold on. Let me start with the bottle first. So, classic bourbon whiskey bottle, nice color to the whiskey. I love the label. The label goes with the story really well. The only critique that I will have, and this comes into quality control right here, is they put the label on. The label was not aligned properly to the actual details on the bottle. So that's a quality control issue. But other than that, I ain't got no problems with the bottle. I love the gold lettering, the black. It goes well with the color of the whiskey, all that good stuff. So it's 43% alcohol by volume. It says born from botany, made for bourbon. In 1841, Edmond Albius single-handedly gave the world vanilla by perfecting the pollination technique we still use today. We pay tribute to Edmond through this very bottle of bourbon he inspired, a testimony to his botanical genius. Uncover the true story below. And they have a QR code right here. You hit that right there, take you right to the website. Real cool. It's produced by Untold Spirits in Bloomington, Indiana. So let's move on to the website. Now, it says a story in every pour. Discover Edmond's Honor, a premium vanilla barreled aged bourbon whiskey that celebrates untold stories, rich history, and the artistry of discovery. Each sip is a tribute to the craft of bourbon, built on history, finished with legacy. Edmond's Honor, a story in every pour. And that just sounds amazing. It really does. So they have, they go through the whole process of the history of vanilla, their manual pollination method, their aging process. And they also, have cool stuff on there. You can subscribe to their newsletter and stuff like that. Let me pull up something else that I thought was very cool about the story. They have a lot of information on here. They have recipes on here as well, which I love. I love seeing websites, bourbon websites, whiskey websites, put recipes for old fashions, martinis, Moscow mules, stuff like that. I believe that's how you market well with your whiskey and stuff. You get people involved in, you know, being involved with the actual whiskey to make cocktails and stuff, because everybody don't be drinking whiskey or bourbon and stuff straight. So it's always cool to have that type of stuff up there. All right. Let me move on to the actual details of this bourbon whiskey. It says Edmond's Honor stars as a premium high corn mash bill that is rested in American oak casks, imbuing it with vanilla and toasted oak flavor. The straight bourbon whiskey is then finished in French oak cognac casks that previously held Madagascar vanilla. Finally, the whiskey is slow proof, blended, and accentuated with a hint of pure Madagascar vanilla essence to create a consistently rich, smooth, and complex sip. Now, what I love, they have it on here, the tasting notes. Appearance, gleaming, golden liquid. Aroma, orange blossoms, brown sugar, cinnamon, and a hint of toasted oak. Taste, bourbon vanilla, sandalwood, and candied almonds, followed by warming allspice. The rich mouthfeel is accentuated by zesty citrus and wild honey notes. The finishes with lingering notes of toasted baking spices and more bourbon vanilla. It says serving. They got serving suggestions on here. It says Edmond's Honor can be enjoyed neat on the rocks or in your favorite bourbon cocktail. Like I said, it's 43% alcohol volume, proof 86, and we're gonna get right to it. Your favorite part of the show. Keep those tasting notes right where they are. Let me get everything straight. Open it up. Love that sound. Already smells good. I can smell the oak. I definitely can smell the vanilla. Smells really good. Really inviting. It says orange blossoms. Let me see. I do smell a little citrus flavor. It says brown sugar, cinnamon. I definitely smell cinnamon, but I'm really getting that oak, that citrus, that vanilla. I'm starting to smell the brown sugar. I'm sniffing kind of hard though. Got the pour. So let's start with neat in the nose and glass. Now we're going to look at it again. Does have a beautiful golden color to it. Not too oily. Looks really good. All right, let's stir that around. One more sniff. Smells really good. Now sipping. First off, I'm definitely tasting the vanilla, of course. Tasting that vanilla. I can see why they say that candy almonds. It has a sweet, nutty flavor to it. They said that it's a warming allspice. I might be too experienced. I can taste the spice, but it's not too warming. The finish is, to me, the finish is really short. But the finish definitely does have spice and vanilla to it. It has a real rich flavor to it. It's like a subtle, spicy, sweet, rich flavor to it. Tastes really good so far. Get one more sip, sniff, while I take another sip. I let it sit on the tongue a little bit longer. Definitely tasting the citrus smell. I mean, the citrus taste now. I'm definitely tasting the honey more. I taste the citrus and the honey on the front end. I'm getting the spice. It lingers on the middle to the back end, but it's still not a long finish. That spice hits you in the middle to the back, but it's not a strong finish. It does have a slight warming effect, but I've had stronger, so it's not overwhelming at all, and it's not really affecting me in any type of way. Like I don't even notice it. So let's move on to the tumbler with ice. I said the tumbler with ice. I'm all over the place. Tumbler with a splash of water. I ain't have no water bottles today, so I gotta bring out the big one. So we're just gonna get a splash, splash, splash of water in there. So we're gonna stir this around, sniff. Still getting that citrus notes. Still getting that vanilla. Getting that oak. Getting the cinnamon and the brown sugar now. I smell the brown sugar even more now with the splash of water. Stir it one more time. Another sip. Sip. I, I'm just all over the place. Excuse me. So with the splash of water, definitely tasting that bourbon vanilla, like it's not just vanilla as they described it, bourbon vanilla, and that's exactly how it tastes, bourbon vanilla. Um, Still tasting the citrus, that honey. The spices calm down even more. So, but you still taste it. But it's like when you have some type of sweet, like some type of pastry or some type of cake or something that has spice in it, but it's not like overwhelming or it catches you off guard. It's like a sweet spice to it. And it tastes really good with the splash of water. It's still tasting very rich. That vanilla is just right there with that honey. I definitely taste the honey even more now with the splash of water. It tastes really good. I can see like making a cocktail and having like some sort of honey ingredients with it to bring that excuse me, burp number one, burp number two, to bring that honey out, burp number three, burp number four. All right, yeah, to bring that honey out even more to complement the rest of the sweetness with the bourbon, and to basically just bring a balance to the spice. So I'm gonna get this glass ready. The glass on the rocks. This time the glass on the rocks. And the end of the show glass. There we go. Now I'm gonna finish off this tumbler, this glass with the splash of water. This this bourbon whiskey definitely is great for cocktails. It's great to drink neat. It's definitely a whiskey that you can introduce to um, beginners. It has a great balance of sweetness and spice and citrus and oak. Like this is a well balanced bourbon whiskey. Like when I think of bourbon whiskeys, this is what I like. I like to have a balance of all those flavors, whether it's the oak and the sweetness, whether it be some type of honey or um, vanilla, or you'll have the balance of spice and sweetness, or the citrus with the sweetness. So this bourbon whiskey is definitely what I like. I like that balance where all the flavors complement each other. So we're gonna get this ice moving, stir that up, sniff. Still smells the same, still a very inviting, good smell. Now the sip. So on the rocks, now I'm getting even more of the sweetness. I'm getting more of the honey, the vanilla, and as well as that spice. But like I said, it's like eating some type of pastry or some type of cake. I keep trying to think of the type of cake that has spice in it, and I just can't think of it right now. But it's a type of cake that has spice in it, but it doesn't overwhelm you. It's like a perfect complement of spice and sweetness. And I can't believe I can't think of what the heck that it is because I just recently had it and I know I have. But anyways, definitely a great compliment on the rocks. It it tastes just as good as it tastes neat, as well as with a splash of water. I have no bad things to really say about this bourbon whiskey. I was kind of leery about it. I pretty much try to stay away from flavored um, whiskeys and flavored any type of alcohol that is flavored, because I've seen a lot of like peanut butter whiskeys, and I just nah, I'm not trying to try no peanut butter whiskey. But I've seen this Edmond's Honor. I've seen it on social media for a while. I believe it's black owned. If not black owned, I know it's run or managed, promoted by uh, a black person. So I definitely wanted to check this out. I've heard good things about it. And I'm glad I finally got a chance to taste it. Edmond's Honor straight bourbon whiskey. Definitely a whiskey that you can take to an event, because you can allow beginners to drink it, intermediates, experienced people. Like this one will be perfect. Um, I can see myself drinking this whiskey with a cigar. It'll complement it very well with that sweetness and that spice. Um, I've thoroughly enjoyed this whiskey, and I'm very glad that I took the time out to go get it. So, out of five tastes, I give this bourbon whiskey a 4.5 out of 5 tastes. Edmond's Honor. Um, I'm glad that I'm able to pick this up locally. I ain't got to order it and pay for shipping. So when I want it again, I can go right to the liquor store and grab it. This one definitely is a favorite of mine right now. This is probably one of the best bourbon whiskeys I've had in a while. So yeah, I'm looking forward to you guys watching this, letting me know what you think about it. If you go pick it up, make sure you go pick it up and let me know. Send in the recommendations like you always have. If you want to donate to the show, shout out to the people who have donated to the show so far, whether it be financially or bottles. Thank you. I appreciate it. Keep doing that. Um, Shout out to all the new subscribers. Check me out on the Taste to Consider Network on Instagram. Hey, I appreciate you. Make sure you drink responsibly. Drink responsibly.